According to multiple legal scholars, it appears that an indictment against Donald Trump, another indictment, is almost imminent at this point. And according to Harvard Law professor Emeritus Laurence Tribe, who also is a major legal expert widely respected, he believes that the charges against Donald Trump from Jack Smith could be related to conspiracy to overthrow the United States government. Now, that would be a big one, obviously. But here's why Tribe thinks that. It was revealed this week that Special Prosecutor Jack Smith was heading down to Georgia to talk to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. That conversation happened on Wednesday, yesterday. And Raffensperger, of course, is the Secretary of State that Donald Trump made the infamous phone call to saying, go find the votes. So why would Jack Smith need that testimony? Why would he be approaching Raffensperger in this investigation? If not other than to prove that Donald Trump was attempting to overthrow the election results of the 2020 election. Beyond that, Raffensperger is not involved in any of this. He wasn't involved in the Capitol riot. He wasn't involved in the fake elector scheme, as far as we know. This was just a guy who got a phone call from Donald Trump and quickly dismissed it. But if they're building a case to prove that Trump was trying to overthrow the incoming government of the United States, because obviously at the time, Trump was the government, and that's where things get a little murky, legal speaking, but this definitely does seem like he's building the case for conspiracy. Now, it could be conspiracy to overthrow the government of the United States, which is what Tribe suggests it could be, or it could be conspiracy to defraud the United States. Big distinction between the two. But before I get into the distinction, let me just continue on a little more. In addition to talking to Raffensperger, we also learned this week that Rudy Giuliani recently went and sat voluntarily, according to Giuliani's people, to talk to Jack Smith's grand jury. And Giuliani was pretty much the guy working with the states to come up with the fake electors. So that also seems to be pointing towards conspiracy. Now, the distinction between the two charges. So I get back to that. We also learned, by the way, you had multiple Secret Service agents that have cooperated with the grand jury. Those are the people around Trump all the time. So they would have heard things, seen things. Their testimony is important. But the distinction between the two possible charges, because I have always suggested, and again, I got nothing on Laurence Tribe in terms of credentials, legally speaking. So he's way better than me, way smarter than me. But I've always said that conspiracy to defraud the United States would be the most likely path. But if it is, in fact, what Tribe is suggesting, and it's conspiracy to overturn the government of the United States, that would likely, under the 14th Amendment, bar Donald Trump from ever holding a public office again. So that would be a better charge. If you can get him on that, like 100% do that. The problem I see, the way I see it, and based, of course, on the way our court system is stacked with conservatives, is they're going to argue you can't overthrow a government that doesn't technically exist. Because while these plans were playing out, right, while Donald Trump was engaged in this alleged conspiracy, President Biden wasn't President Biden. There was no Biden administration. They had not been sworn in. So legally speaking, can you launch a coup against a government that doesn't technically exist yet? That's where the legal problems are going to come in, especially with the way our court system, again, is skewed way to the right. Supreme Court 6-3 to the right. So I think if you did go with those charges, I think conservative courts are going to, go the other way on that and let Donald Trump off. Conspiracy to defraud the United States, however, which would not bar Trump from running for office again, I think that would be easier to prove, and you don't have to, worry about the conservative courts changing the interpretation of defrauding the government. That one's pretty clear. But Laurence Tribe, by the way, is not the only person, the legal expert out there, saying that charges are likely imminent. We also have former Solicitor General Neil Katyal, who says that, yes, it does seem like Donald Trump is going to be indicted very soon for January 6th and the attempts to overturn the election. So legal scholars are, differing on what they think the charges are going to be, but they're all pretty much in agreement that there will be charges and that Donald Trump and all of his alleged co-conspirators are going to be hit at the same time. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.